Hello everyone. Welcome to the community call Super Team Vietnam. So this is the community call after we have a week. Have like I cannot stream last week because of the issue with the Super Team handle. I think it's not solved yet. So I will hang around here for a few minutes for people to come. But yeah, like every week we have like I will have a community call to report to you guys whatever's happening in the week, and hope you don't miss our activity next week, this week and next week. If you in the chat, I would like to see somebody say GM. So I'm not to make sure that I'm just not talking to myself. Um, So while we wait for people to come, just want to share you guys about my weeks. It's kind of crazy. People say that it's going to rain in Da Nang, so hot that it is storm in here. But see, my two kids at home the whole week, 2 days, right? Not the whole week, 2 days, yesterday and today, and there's no kind of like rain. There's a very light rain outside. So I don't want the rain to be hot, but it's crazy to like in the end of the day, you have kind of like prepare for the storm, but there's no storm. It's actually good because people told me that 2022 the rain in Da Nang is really hot, and somewhere in the city the water level is like 2 meters. It's crazy. Okay, GM David. So I can say, David, you are the most consistent people. Kind of like see you in every call. Thank you very much. I see some Syed Tasaduk from YouTube. Wow, don't know that we have like people from not from Vietnam watching the call. Thank you very much for joining us. So 10 people, that's good. I can start now because like this call is every week. Kind like want to make it like happen every week so you don't have to time it like or is there anything this week? No, every week, every 6 p.m. Vietnam time, Thursday, every week I will do it. So kind like to show you guys what's happening in the week. Let's do it. The first win of the week is we have a mini hackathon inside Underdog Hackathons. So Kabla, the Colosseum Hackathon is going right. And we have Underdog team, they Kabla, they're beating the Aka airdrop, which is a new concept of gaming in blockchain. The idea that you have a game on you have a game and a part of the memory of the game is on blockchain. So whoever's like playing the game, they stream the game, other people can mess up with the game. So we build a hackathon inside a hackathon. And actually, we have a mini hackathon in Hanoi for the Underdog hackathons in 48 hours. So thanks to Down Startup, it's a startup community in Vietnam. We didn't have a lot of people in joining the hackathon, but that makes sense because it's the first time we collaborate with Tao Startup. So if you in Vietnam, maybe you know about Tao Startup. Is a community that been here for roughly 10 years, I think. So yeah, so the whole cup like strategy for Super 10 Vietnam this year is we going out, we collaborate with a bunch of community and see how it's going on because like blockchain is like mainly going mainstream. So the one thing of that is like we onboard people from other cup like startup community into Solana, and so them like yeah, this technology is really interesting. There's a lot of things we can use in here. So that is the first step with Tao startup, and I think that we might do more activation in the future. The win number two, this is big deal. So we work with Square Down, and we build carton 1 month ago, and we started with like 15 team. By the end of it, we have 10 team in the end, and 7 team that kind of like joining the final hackathon, the final pitching day. So thank you Long Leo and Square Down for having Super Team Vietnam hosting this. This was a very amazing demo day, and we have like 6 top team and Midera, one of the media agency that pitching in that day. We have roughly, I think, will be like 50 people joining in a Sunday morning. Look, that's a Sunday morning, and we have a bunch of people like pitching on Solana. That's crazy. And I think that's one of the strategies that going on next year for Super Team Vietnam. We are going to do more and more collaboration like this. Now you see Square Out, you see Tao Startup. The next year you see more like university, but not kind of like we do it, but universities they do it with the support of Super Team Vietnam. So we kind of like want to do more activation, but instead of like Super Team is the main character, Super Team will be the supporter, so we can somehow make Solana more friendly because of the whole idea of like success doesn't mean that we become the permanent name. Success means that we blend into the background. And now everybody build in Solana. Whenever you need support, there's a super team. But you don't have to hear super team name all the time. I think that is kind of like how I define the success for Super Team Vietnam 2026. Moving on, we become something like electricity, right? You know that there's electricity for you to use, but you don't really have to think about it. So that's the thing that we have like doing and moving on next year. This year there's several try that we did. Like we try to do with the building public community. There's a building public community in Facebook, which is like indie builder community. We tried with them, but not really successful. We tried with several universities as well, but it doesn't stick. But I think Square DAO and Hanoi University of Science and Technology kind of like stick, and we done several activation together. So moving forward, it will be you can see more and more activation from super team that we collaborate with other people and bring more diversified founder and developer into super team community. And yes, after that we make a cozy lunch to celebrate all the participants. And kind of like this is kind of like the last day before we kind of like Da Nang go into the storm. Week number 4 is weekly sharing. We have Saitama Coder, and we he hosts a workshop with the ASEAN network team. So okay, this is the alpha for you to for you guys, whoever watching the stream. I think like 10 people in the stream. The thing is, I think next year, assume they will have a token. Look, they have a network, right? If you kind of like know about blockchain, anyone who have a network, kind of like decentralize their computing platform, they will have a token for sure. Because if they don't have a token, how can they secure the network? So learn about Asium technology, try the testnet, build something. And you know the guy in here, Saitama Coder in here, he's from our community. Get in touch with him, learn about Asium because I don't know. Next year, that might be an interesting airdrop for anyone who build in Asium. You just mark my word. Might be something interesting here, especially if you look at Solana right now. Everybody is hyped up around private computing because look, we have blockchain, right? And the public blockchain and the public execution and public data layer, its job really amazing. But if we want blockchain to go mainstream, then we have to really think about how we keep the network decentralized or more in a more have like technical way the network distributed and make sure that everything go properly. But we need privacy on the network as well. I think if you kind of like uh, I think it kind of like if you follow Merch recently, he has a very interesting tech that I really like. He said that so whenever you do something on chain, for example, trading, your intent should be private, like execution should be private, but your results should be public. Just like voting, right? Voting is one of the most democracy things that we kind of like usually use it as an example about decentralization. So the one of the principles of the voting is the intent of the voter should be private, but the results should be public. Otherwise, if you can mess up with the intent, then there's no longer democracy anymore. So that is the reason why I think if you participate in blockchain, that make a lot of sense right now for everything. It's kind of like okay, we have a public storage, we have a public execution layer, but now we are adding a private execution layer on top of it. So even it is private, but we are still sure that it execute whatever it promised. That is a cool new thing. So I talk a lot about that in here, but the key thing for anyone like for 26 people who join the stream is I think assume they will have a token next year. and they will surely win airdrop to whoever builds something on the network. And our guys in here, Saitama Kotter, you see his name in the screen, will be the guy for you to talk to and see how kind of like you interact with the network. And I don't know, something can happen next year for you guys. Win number five is we have Leo Phạm win a free trip to Breakpoint. Congratulations to Leo for outstanding contribution. Not only Leo, but I think we have two other students as well who won a free trip to Abu Dhabi by the end of this year. So congratulations. We are going to have a bunch of Super Team Vietnam people in Abu Dhabi by the end of this year. And of course, the whole focus of this week and the next week and until like maybe mid-November for Super Team Vietnam is the Colosseum Hackathon. So, okay, put it this way. This is the kind of like my solely focused and super team solely focused right now. We have only 7 days to join the Cyberpunk Hackathon in the Colosseum. So guys, if you are not submit, please submit. I think this year is the first time I don't see Vietnam in the top 10 the participant. I know for sure that we are going to have like at least 50 to 60 team joining, but in terms of participant, just less than around 130 or something. So guys, please, if you are intend to submit to the Colosseum, now is a good time for you to submit it because we only have 7 days. So yeah, if you are joining Cyberpunk Colosseum, if you need any support, just DM me. I'm here to support you and make sure that you win the Colosseum Hackathon. And yes, that's the kind of like the whole focus of the week. However, we still have pickleball in Hanoi every Saturday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we have, okay, what do we have in here? We have walking. Okay, we have walking in here. Even Saturday, okay, whoever do the slide did really bad job. Let me see. So that is walking into the sunset. Oh, this is interesting. Let me kind of like put it here. So let me do it properly. We have a lot of sport event in here. So Web 3 Hanoi Pickleball Saturday. You can see the Luma link in here. So basically, doesn't care about it. Just go to luma.com/superteamvn and you see all of the calendar there. The second thing is like this event in Ho Chi Minh City. This is what it is. So walking into sunset powered by Super Team Vietnam. So yeah, we have kind of like walking event, I think. Yeah, in Ho Chi Minh City from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Hosted by Wonderplay and Super Team Vietnam. So Wonderplay is a new brand from several Super Team Vietnam members in Ho Chi Minh City. And yeah, so register to see the address. There's a bunch of like sport activity. We doing a lot of sport activity right now. So the whole idea that we have a lot of like activation, right? Knowledge and everything, but sport and fun activities somehow is a way that we bond people together. And that is Hanoi, that is Ho Chi Minh City, and then in Da Nang as well. So from 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. October 26th, we have soccer match. So if you in Da Nang, then that is something for you guys to consider, right? So yeah, we have like a sport event in three cities in Vietnam this week. So wherever you are, super team is around you. Just come here, say hi, have some good time together. And of course, two hackathon is running the Cyberpunk and the Underdog Hackathon. Actually, the hackathon inside the hackathon. Total price for the Underdog Hackathon is $15,000. So yeah, that's sizable for you guys to go and grab it. And yeah, if you want to follow Super Team Vietnam activity, just subscribe to our calendar to not miss any event. So yeah, that is everything I got for this week. I keep the screen in here. If you have any question, anything, just ask is in the stream. Whenever you are, just add a comment. I will stay around for maybe a few minutes for you guys to ask. But kind of like there's not a lot happen. There's a lot of happening right now for everyone who joining the Colosseum Hackathon. I think I have right now under the Super Team Vietnam portfolio, we have 50 to 70 teams. joining the Colosseum hackathons. Uh, 20, half of it, I think, half of it, they are students. Have like the new students that joining Super Team Vietnam this season, I think, and they will be the have like the major force of Super Team Vietnam next year. I'm very happy to see that we have at least 30 to 40 students that joining this hackathon, and not like only joining, but really, they really grind with me. Have like I have so many phone call with them, make sure that they understand Solana and build something meaningful on Solana. And yeah, and I don't think that a lot of like students joining the hackathon this year win, but they will learn a lot through the hackathon, the experience go through from like ideation to like building a pitch deck to building something and bring it to athlete DevNet. That's a very good experience for all the students joining this year, and next year they will be the kind of like one of the one of the big force for Super Team Vietnam that joining the hackathon next year. So yeah, and this year we have a lot of experienced founders joining us as well. From we have like maybe three to I think five, no, four companies that joining the hackathon this year with Super Team Vietnam. They have like moving their business into Web3, building new product. That is like big deal for Super Team Vietnam. Now we are have like converting Web2 people into Web3 and have more experienced founder joining us. So this year is actually the first time they join us. Um, like I don't care about the result. They might win, they might not, but they will learn a lot and moving on will be the have like a changing power in for Super Team Vietnam next year. Even for this year, they already very have like their business already out there for a lot of guys. They build their business for 7 to 10 years, so they go to the Colosseum Hackathon right now, which is like kind of like using blockchain to make their business more powerful. So I think the pitch is like undeniable for like for the judge to see, and like to see how like I don't think they even had to prove the MVP because the business is already out there. Now the only question is like how committed they are to Solana ecosystem. So yeah, that's will be interesting to see for Super Team Vietnam. Yeah, the call. So there's no question. So thank you all very much for joining us. So this is a short update about Super Team Vietnam this week. And yeah, we will have more interesting to show you maybe next week when we have more information about how we're going to have a moving forward with the two last month of the year when the hackathon is end. We have more interesting to say like the demo day of the of Super Team Vietnam by the end of the year, and some of the activation that I want to maybe pick the brain from the community. Like few things like maybe we this year Super Team Vietnam we did five Solana Camp 7 days like building event, but maybe moving forward we want to do something more exciting, like not only like pitching and building product anymore, but a little bit like train people into the founder mindset. Uh, have like more event, which is what can I say? Have like more training to make sure that people are ready not only for the Colosseum Hackathon, but really useful for them to build business. So that's going to be something that we might have in the next community call. Maybe not next community call, but the community call after that when the Colosseum Hackathon is finished. However, you guys, so if you are in Super Team Vietnam joining the Cyberpunk Colosseum Hackathon, submit it. We are looking for you to have like see you in the Colosseum Hackathon and support you guys. Okay. Anyway, thank you all for joining and see you next week. Bye bye.